5 tips for being a new children's book illustrator. Number 5, I would say make your own book. Just start with the story and then just do a self-published book. That's what I did for my first book. It's really great for you to be able to go through the process of writing the story, making the storyboards, figuring out like how you want the characters to look, how you're writing the story, and how that equates to making illustrations for the story. Be your own client. Do it for yourself first, and that will sort of help you get over that hump of turning the words into beautiful images. Okay, next. Number 4, learn to draw animals and children. There's lots of other things that you're gonna have to draw if you want to draw children's books. You're gonna have to figure out if you want to do backgrounds or no backgrounds. Are they in a car? Are they in a field? Are they in some sort of office? All of that stuff has its own place where you're gonna have to figure out how to work that out. But the most important things is gonna be kids and animals. 100%. Most children's book stories have children and animals. Some are just animals, some are just children. Most are probably both. So for all of my children's books have been animals and children, or animals and humans. So just work on that. Perfect your craft so that you feel confident in drawing any sort of animal or any sort of human or person, because that's what you're going to have to be doing. And it's a lot more stressful if you're doing it for someone else. So just get a handle on it. Just keep practicing that. Be obsessed with it. And eventually you'll just fall into your own style. People always say about like, they want to figure out like a drawing style, or figure out a, is that what they call it, a drawing style? The style will find you. Use references and take what you can from artists that you really love and art that you really like. And eventually you will find your own style, artistic style. That delivery was not smooth. Okay, so number 3, learn to say no. I did a whole video on this a while back, but it's very important to just be okay with saying no. Not every project is going to be right for you. Try to do what's in your wheelhouse. Try to do what you do best. And also you have to be careful with some clients, because some people just aren't great to work for. It can be a nightmare if you're working with people that you just don't like working for, and you're doing art that you don't like, that you don't want to be doing. It makes the job so much more difficult, and you're not going to produce the best of your ability. So it's going to look bad for you, the client's not going to be happy, and it's going to be a dumpster fire. So just learn to say no. Just be aware of your talents. If you're aware of your talents, then whatever project that you get, if they're coming to you, then it's you that they want. It's your creativity that they want. So just make sure that you're thinking like, oh, like how can I make this the best of my ability? And if you can say, oh, I think I can do something with this, then you're okay. Then at least you have some footing to walk on. But if it's something where you're like, I really have no idea how I'm going to do this, drawing these types of things isn't fun for me, or drawing this way isn't fun for me, or they need it in a month, and trust me, if you can't do that, it's going to be a nightmare. It's better to just say no. Number 2, use a contract. I'm not a lawyer. I am not, I don't know much about the law. All I did was go on the internet and I looked up about 5 or 6 Illustrator contracts. So I just found contracts online. Like I just Googled Illustrator Contract and I read what I could understand. I read through them, and then I just kind of mixed and pulled what seemed relevant for what I was doing. So I just mixed and matched 5 or 6 different contracts, and that's what I use as my contract. It's clear, it's concise. I don't have too much legal jargon, because then I wouldn't even be able to understand it. So, but for now, I mean, I shaped it up. It looks fairly professional, and it just makes sense. So I understand it. The client can understand it. It's not only to keep you from being ripped off. I mean, obviously it's that too, but it's also just a place where you can look and say, oh, okay, I agreed to do this many images in this time frame for this amount of money. The client can see, oh, okay, I owe them this amount of money. I'm going to be getting this work. It's just to have everything clear and concise and out in the open. It's just an agreement, but you definitely need it. And definitely don't start the work or do the work without being paid. I usually do like half up front and then half when it's done. I don't start work until I've gotten paid, because you don't know what's going on with the people. They might not have the money together for a month or 2 months. And if you start doing all this work and then something happens and the job doesn't come through, you're going to be upset and you've wasted a lot of time. So definitely wait till you get paid to start the work. That's the only, trust me, you'll feel a lot better doing artwork once you're already paid. It'll just save you the headache. I see a lot of things in the groups about people that they do artwork for people, and then they're upset when the person like goes and makes money off of it. You can't really complain if you don't have a contract and you don't specify what the art can be used for, what it can't be used for. So if you're going to do artwork for someone and give it to them and not have a contract, like, just be okay with them making money from it. That's how I am. If I do artwork for someone, if they want to put it on shirts, if they want to do whatever, I'm happy with that. But if I'm doing a client, like a job for a client, then I have a contract. If this thing blows up and then they want to sell it, some big corporation wants to buy, Disney wants to buy the characters or the book or the story, I still have the rights. So then I'm still brought to the table. So I don't give all my, when I do jobs, I don't just give the copyright away. Like, I don't sign the copyright away. Like, I say that in the contract, I say that I still own the rights to the characters, but I'm licensing them out to whoever the client is, so they can use them either indefinitely or for whatever they want. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but I just feel more comfortable having in writing that I still own the copyright to the characters, because you never really know where it's going to end up. So again, just have a contract, read through a bunch of contracts, try to understand it, and have a contract for your work, because your work is worth it, and it's worth you making extra money down the line if it's owed to you. This is number one. This is what I think is the most important thing. Don't become a children's book illustrator because you think that children's book illustration is easier, because it some can look kind of kid-like, because it has a certain style that's easier to produce than some other type of artwork. That's definitely not the reason to become a children's book illustrator. Like, that's not the right mindset, because it's not easy. Children's book illustration is not an easy way out. You have to be consistent with your artwork. You have to draw the same characters over and over again in different poses. That's just not a good path, because you're going to find yourself in a position where someone wants you to do a project and you're going to be overwhelmed, because it's a lot. You're doing 12 images, 24 images, 32 images from sketch, character design. It's a really in-depth process, and it requires a lot of skill, and it's fun. It's really fun. I love it. Don't sleep on children's book illustration. It takes a lot of work. I just finished another book where, it wasn't a book. It's actually connected to the first book. It's like 18 supplemental images, and I learned how to draw mandalas. I learned how to draw those. I learned how to kind of do an instruction manual where the character's sort of like helping out with the instructions. All of these things that I've never done before. It's a learning experience, but I had to relearn how to draw the characters, because I had finished the book during quarantine, and I had to relearn how to draw the characters. There's things like that are very technical and very difficult. So just be serious about it. Only do it if you like that type of illustration. Like, if that is exciting to you. If you wouldn't mind doing that all the time, because once you get a job, it's a lot of work. So, and just as a disclaimer, this isn't like professional advice. I guess I'm a professional children's book illustrator. I guess maybe I am. Maybe I just said it out loud, so maybe that means that I am. But the legal advice, all of this stuff, I'm just telling you about the bumps in the roads that I've been through, because I don't want you to have to deal with that. Like, I dealt with it. You're going to have some bumps in your journey, but I just wanted to tell you about mine, so that way yours will be that much easier. If you have any questions, or if you're wondering, or anything that you want to ask me about what I've talked about, feel free to reach out to me privately, or just leave a comment, which is probably better, because other people might want to know the same answers or anything like that. But I'm happy to talk about my experiences with clients, times I've said no, contract stuff, I can send you my contract. You can change the name on it, and you can use that contract. You can bring it to a lawyer. Maybe they'll say that it's crap. Maybe they'll say that it's pretty good for someone who's not a lawyer. But it works for me for now. And as time goes on, I get better and I develop and I get smarter about my decisions. And that's what I want you to do. That's how I want your journey to go. So hopefully this was helpful, and hopefully you'll have a nice, smooth transition into the world of children's books, because it's really rewarding once you kind of have a handle on it and you start feeling comfortable and feeling confident in your skills and kind of learning the business side and dealing with clients and money. And money is always difficult, and it's even worse when it's like friends, when it's like people the money business side can be very weird. So just be careful with that, you know what I mean? Like just make sure you get paid. And regardless, if it's friends, make sure you're getting paid. Don't just say, oh, I'll do the work and I'll get paid later because it's a friend. Get your money. It's your time. They're asking you for a favor. So make sure you get your money. And also every year, raise your rate. If you get a job or two in a year, raise your rates once you get a job, and once you complete that job. That means your skills have leveled up because you have more experience. So don't forget to raise your rates. My rates are $2.25 a page, and it's gonna keep going up, So that's just the reality of it. Hopefully this helps. And always a pleasure talking with you guys. I don't know. I want to say thank you to you all, but it's really awkward saying it to a camera. So anyway, as always, keep drawing, and I'll see you in the next video. Let me know what you think. If I should do more tips like this, or if I should just stick to the drawing. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you want to see more content like that, then follow me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, all Drug Free Dave. And also, if you want more in-depth structured tutorials, then definitely check out my Skillshare. I have about 11 Skillshare classes now, and you can use the links below and get 2 weeks free. And in those 2 weeks, you can take all of my classes for free. So, of course, as always, keep drawing, and I'll see you in the next video.